Two cheerleaders shot for simply approaching the wrong car. None of this makes any sense, folks. None of it. Two teenage cheerleaders, Payton, Washington, Heather Roth, were shot after one said she mistook the suspect's vehicle as her own in a supermarket parking lot near Texas's capital. Pedro Tello Rodriguez Jr. arrested for the shooting. The young women drove from the Round Rock area to Woodlands Elite Cheer Company in Oak Ridge 3 times each week to practice. They used the Elgin H-E-B as a carpool lot for the approximately 360-mile round trip. Just after midnight, cheerleader Heather Roth said she got out of her friend's car and opened the door to a vehicle she believed to be her own in the H-E-B parking lot. Okay, this happens. It's a mistake. So far, I've not heard anything weird here, okay? Nothing weird. Roth said there was a man sitting in the passenger seat, so she initially panicked, thinking a stranger was inside her car, got back into her friend's vehicle. When she noticed the man approaching their vehicle, she said she rolled down the window to apologize, telling him she thought it was her car. Roth said the man threw up his hands, pulled out a gun, and started shooting. Roth was struck by a bullet, but was treated and released at the scene. Payton, Washington, was shot twice, badly injured, according to a GoFundMe spearheaded by her cheerleading company, Woodlands Elite Generals. Washington is stable, recovering in the ICU, according to the cheerleading company. Washington is doing well today after suffering from a ruptured spleen, which was removed, and she has damage to her pancreas and diaphragm. That from Lynn Cheer, the managing partner of that cheer program. That's what she told CNN. In upstate New York, Kevin Monahan, the man who's charged with fatally shooting 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis when she and 3 friends mistakenly drove down his driveway in search of a friend's house. Monahan was arrested on Sunday afternoon after holding up in his home for an hour and is being charged with second-degree murder. Why? Speaking with CNN on Tuesday, Washington County Sheriff Jeffrey Murphy said that Monahan has proven difficult and spoken about it very little with officials. When deputies arrived at his home on Sunday, he refused to speak with them, could only be extricated with the eventual assistance of the New York State Police Special Operations Response Team. Sheriff also noted that Monahan retained a lawyer before even leaving his home and has yet to make any statement about the situation. Monahan, quite frankly, has not shown any remorse in this case. This shooting makes this at least the 3rd incident this week in which young people who made an apparent mistake were met with gunfire. Here are the GoFundMe links for the victims. It's important we put them up, and many people are giving. Many people are giving. What they have in common? Simple. Young, innocent, if anything nefarious in these situations that led to this, and all victims. For what? And that's really, I need you to frame it, Bennie, because it's not just the mistake. It's what the sheriff said in that last case. No remorse. If you just made a mistake, you would feel horrible, right? If you ran over someone's pet that ran into the street, you feel horrible. If you're human, I think. No remorse. What do you make of any of this?
Honestly, it's hard not to immediately just blame like the political right and the type of environment that outlets like Fox News try to create. Because ultimately, what are they doing, right? They create this like deranged panic among their followers, right? They tell everybody that they need guns, that there's some sort of menacing threat. And then you have these people that are freaking out about the woke mob. That's a phrase they use all the time, woke mob, right? And who do they include in the woke mob? Like quite literally, they think young people just across the board are like all these like evil communists or whatever, right? We obviously know that they hate black and brown folks. We obviously know that they hate women. I mean, quite literally, these people cannot see like a female lead in a Marvel movie without freaking out. You know, they can't see a female Eminem without freaking out. I mean, for the love of God, it's a cartoon character, right? And so, like, fundamentally, when you take those people and then you have like an entire right-wing media space that is trying to like stoke up fears and say that there's going to be a civil war and try to like tell them that like, oh, they're coming for your house or whatever, you know, you're going to get burglarized all the time or whatever. Like all of this panic, right? Like this racist panic, this misogynistic panic, this fear about young people being too gay, right? All of these things stacked on top of each other when you already have like a group of people who are like, to be entirely honest, like Americans are not necessarily known for being the most stable folks like across the board. We don't really have like a great reputation when it comes to responsible gun ownership or just responsibility in general. You know, you push this main character syndrome, and like I can tell you, I've known a lot of people personally in my life that are convinced that they themselves are John Rambo. And unfortunately, there's an entire media space that is willing to indulge those sort of self-delusions. And so, yeah, like how could somebody like do something like this and not feel remorse? My guess is, right, and granted, this is a guess, but my guess is this person has been drinking all of this ridiculous right-wing Kool-Aid and like is unironically just terrified of basically leaving his house at this point.
It's to me why these stand your ground laws were created. You don't even really need that law. Why do you need a stand your ground law? If someone breaks into your home and they mean harm or death to you, your family, you can defend yourself. We don't need stand your ground. These laws were created so that you could get away with this kind of thing, so that you could blow human beings away, claim that you were in fear. So when a 16-year-old Kansas City Black teenager, ding dong, you can take a long time to answer and then shoot through the door. And when you hit that teenager, I think it was the left front forehead, and that teenager's on the ground, you're still in fear, it's delusional, and you shoot him again. It doesn't make any sense, and therefore it's nonsensical. I'll give you the last word. My heart breaks for what do you tell kids? I had someone ask me that. Do we now tell them, be careful of ringing the wrong doorbell? I don't think we can't keep telling them everything because there's just something else that pops up, Bennie.
Yeah, I mean, like we're in an impossible situation because unfortunately we don't live in a democracy. Like fundamentally we do not live in a democracy. Look at states like Tennessee, for example. 8% of the entire voting age population is denied the right to vote due to prior felony voting laws, and we all know that a huge chunk of those is just ridiculous nonsense, war on drug charges, and like you know, throw that on top of our racist policing system. And so like fundamentally between all the gerrymandering, between all of the money that's in politics, between like all of the ways our system is rigged against actual democracy, like fundamentally, what do you tell people? I don't really know. Like, I don't really know. Because most people are against what these people are doing. Most people want gun control. Most people want to move forward and progress. But we're just kind of stuck, I guess.
It's ironic because, you know, that there's that group of people that I don't think is as big as everyone makes it out to be, but they sure are disruptive. It says, we'll take back our country. It's ironic. The other people need to take back the sense of humanity and dignity and life. That definitely needs to be taken back, but not in the way they're talking about. It is just utterly horrific. And I think the other point that I hear you making that I couldn't agree with more is, in this case, it is like a war against the young and this open-mindedness. Too many young people are getting it. What did the former governor, was Scott Walker, said? We got to keep them from voting. We got to indoctrinate them another way, paraphrasing. That's kind of what he said. We have to shake the decency out of these young people who believe that trans, so what? Let people live and love. Interracial dating. Remember? I mean, they just, won't they? Why? Listen, you can only live so long. You can only live so long. And I wonder when some of this disgusting way of thinking, this mentality will die off.